Copy that. Stand by a moment.
I think I gotta get new radio. This fucking radio is a piece of shit. Or, yeah, because everybody else's radio works when they get to the silo. Something's up with this radio. It's a new radio, it's brand new, looks nice. You know, the one you get at Lowe's? The Cobra? For some reason, man, it just doesn't want to pick up signal. I just changed out wires, added new antenna wires to the antenna, got a new antenna. You know, now it's just the radio. Got a new speaker box. I don't know what the fuck is up. Gotta get new radio. Stop at Love's and get one right now.
Revenues or something, a new product, then it'll go from 100 to 105. So it'll go up 5%, which is a lot for like a big company. But with small companies,
turn right onto US 2 West.
You can divide it up too. Here is another example, EARS. So this is another penny stock. This is a 10-day chart, and it basically went from $4 up to $8 in its favor. I was betting against this
for 25 miles, continue on US 2 West.
Even if I'm trading a very small business, even if I'm just not protected. I don't think we're going to have a good 2016. I think it's going to be a rough year, so I don't necessarily need to trade big right now. We've had a 7-year bull market. Sometimes you got to take, your foot off the pedal. You don't need to go full on aggressive. Like, we're going to be a bull market. Obviously, this is in America. We're probably going to do well over the long term, but we're going to have down years every now and then. I think this is one of them. EARS, again, this is a kind of shitty company, and you can tell how the company is based on the yearly chart. So I'm looking at, this is a 10-day chart, this is a 1-year chart. And over the year, it just kind of gradually goes down, and then something happened here. So right now, this is January. This is a very unique time. Have you ever heard of the January effect? So with penny stocks, because most people don't trade them, these kind of strategies aren't very well known. But most penny stocks go down, and because of that, people need to take tax losses. If you have a loss on a stock, you take that off your taxes. So if you earn like $50,000 and you lose $10,000 on a stock, you can take that $10,000 loss off your taxes. You pay less taxes. But you have to do it before year end. So this creates, in essence, a lot of selling in November and December. Because why take the loss in January or February? Take it in December, that way you can take off your taxes in April. So December is the worst month statistically for penny stocks, especially when you're a beaten down company. So you can make the case that, this is October, November, December. All of this, the reason why, it was hanging around 450 all year, but the reason why it goes down to 350 in June is because people are taking tax loss stuff. That creates the January effect opportunity where beaten down companies that aren't necessarily that bad can spike just because people who sold in December will buy them back in January just because it's the exact same company, but they've taken a tax loss and they still want a position. So January is a fun month for stocks, for penny stocks, because they can spike. This is kind of a January effect play, where GSI is not necessarily a good company, but it's been beaten down so much. LEI is another one. Look at this chart. Oh. So in one day, it goes from $1 to $10 a share, and now it's back down to $4. But this is what I'm looking for. Same day, one day, this was 1 to 10. This was insane, okay? so many people in my chat room. My chat room is filled with roughly 1,000 traders. A lot of them, a lot of you are degenerate gamblers, so they just buy whatever's hot. And I'm trying to explain, like, this is a company, it won't hold its case, they're like, shut up, just give me something to buy. That's basically their mentality. And I didn't buy this, but pretty much my entire chat room did. And they're buying it from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, something like that. Never hold the whole time. When you make a trade, and when I make a trade, I want you to go in, when you make a trade, I want you to go in with a plan. You know, you never just buy the stock, let's see how it does. That's what a lot of gamblers do. They don't have a plan, they hold, they hope. Sometimes they get lucky with this stuff. But the vast majority of the time, you're not going to have stocks that go from 1 to 10. So whenever there's a play, like, I guess I don't have it on this computer. I have software that scans for any stock that is heating up a little bit. So before this went from 1 to 10 in one day, it was also up from 1 to 150. So it was up 50% in a few minutes. When a stock goes up 50% in a few minutes, it hits a lot of scans, a lot of technical scans, so you can see, wait a minute, this stock is rising. Because we know that it's January, it can rise even more. So this nearly 1,000% increase is ridiculous. We know this. But during the holidays, during the January effect season, ridiculous is good. So what I want you guys to do is open up accounts, small accounts, a few $1,000s. You need to start testing different ideas. What kind of news is going to move a stock? What kind of plan can I make? Can I buy, let's say, 1,000 shares of this stock when it's rising, when it's already up 50%, on the day? And think, okay, wait a minute, this can go up 100% or 200% or 300% during January. This is the easiest time of the year to start learning about stocks and trading stocks, because this can happen only in January. February, March, April, they're good statistically, they're decent months. But January by far is the best month for penny stocks because of tax loss selling and because of stuff like this. I'll show you more examples. It's been a crazy few days. Mind you, this is all during the worst ever opening for the stock market. So even though the market as a whole is down 5%, everyone's like, oh, Apple is getting hurt, China's getting hurt, Japan's getting hurt. I don't care about any of that. I'm focused on individual plays like this. I usually only take one position at a time. So when people say, oh, what do you think the market's going to do? Like, I humor them. I'm like, yeah, the market's doing this. But I'm really just interested in these kinds of companies. This is how I made my money. This is how my millionaire students have made their money. Focusing on whatever is hot, trying to judge why it's hot and will it last. Here's SSN. This is an oil and gas company. Oil, as you know, is at multi-year lows. So SSN has been dead for, let's see, you can choose different time frames. This is SSN's chart. Does this look like a successful company? So it's gradually fading. And this is the kind of company that you want to bet against whenever it spikes. And this thing went literally up from 50 cents to $1.75. So a nice triple. It bounced right back down in a few days. E-Trade didn't have shares to short. This is where it gets a little complicated. Based on your broker, sometimes there's no shares to short, so you can't bet on it going down. Even if you know this stock is a scam, this stock is going to drop, you can't do anything about it. In order to short sell, you have to have shares at your broker to borrow from. You're basically taking out a loan from your broker. Sometimes penny stocks actually are good companies. Not that they're going to be like the next Facebook or the next Google or whatever, but they can survive and maybe go up from $1 to $2 to $3. So here's an example of hot penny stock. This is Meet.me. So look at the difference between SSN and Meet.me. Do you see any difference in their one-year charts? This is straight down, and this is straight up. So I'm a big believer of the chart is your best friend. Meet.me, it's a social network. It's like a wannabe Facebook. They're kind of spammy. They have ads everywhere. But their business is doing better and better. So companies always record quarterly earnings 4 times a year. Here's our revenues, here's our profits. But Meet.me, several times now, has taken out the extra step of putting out an extra press release saying, hey, business is better than we expected, so we're upping our guidance. So companies can also kind of project their future earnings and future revenues, and they want to tell you about it, because obviously it's going to get you more interest. interesting. So in the past year, Meet Me has taken out, I want to say 5 of these press releases saying, nothing huge, not that like revenue's like amazing, but it's up a few million more than we expected. Every time they do that, this stock reacts. Even though it's a gradually uptrending stock, I mean, this is over 3 months. I have trouble holding a stock for 3 hours, but I'm always thinking about what is the long-term chart. So the other day I was buying Meet Me, what was my entry price? $3.86 or something, $3.86. No, it was $3.68. I'm dyslexic. So $3.68. I got out like in the 380s. I made a few $100, but now it's $4.38. I have big time patience problems. So you have to recognize what your own disadvantages are. Do you guys have patience problems, or are you like extremely patient? Yeah.
But I push for my kids. So it's definitely different.
I talk fast, I think fast, I trade fast. I lived in New York.
I remember you saying that early on. Like one of your guys in Colorado or something.
Take your time.
Yeah, he goes on a little longer than you want him to, but you know.
So this is one of my most important rules. With this one, I bought it when they had a press release saying business is better than expected. So I bought it, I'm like, okay, now it should spike. It went up a little bit, but remember, the market is dropping pretty much every single day. There's a little known stat that's actually very useful. 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. So your company can have the best news whatsoever, but if the overall market is down 2-3% like you've been doing every single day lately, chances are your company is going to be down too. So I'm thinking, okay, the market is collapsing all around this stock. I don't have a lot of patience. It's not spiking the way that I want. I got out too early. I still made like 20 cents a share, but now, another, 2 days later, it would have been 50 cents a share. So I'm not great with patience. You have to recognize what you're good at. When you start trading, you're going to learn. You're going to see, okay, I'm cynical, so I prefer actually betting on failure. Maybe you guys are optimists, and you're like, no, this is a good company, let me buy it. So with bonds or stocks that I'm betting on higher prices, I'm very impatient and I get out way too quickly. But I play it safely. This is rule number 1. Cut losses quickly and get out of trades that aren't working whenever you're not comfortable. A lot of people say, oh, I'm scared of the stock market, I'm not comfortable. You choose your entry and exit. My name is Tim Sykes, and I teach people to trade stocks. I am a self-made multimillionaire. So this is the ideal trade that I'm going to talk about. Yeah. Sense of share. Okay. Yeah. Is your shorting off the top? So you go in with a plan. What was your goal when you get in at 370? Do you want to make 10% on your money? Then you recover at 340. Do you want to try and make 20%? And you recover at 310. Yeah, so you're trying to make 20% on your money. So he started betting against it at 45 cents. Now, understand, the vast majority of the world thinks we're absolutely fucking nuts for betting against the stock at 45 cents. Like, what if it goes to $1? What if it goes to $5? Because this company is a blatant company. This is a scam. They have no cash in the bank. They have no products. The only reason why this stock is up is because of mailers. So that's where we get into some fun. So actually, I think we about this. We blog about it too. We talk about stuff like that. I guess we can write about it. So every company has the press releases as we talked about, but they're also required to file SEC filings, legal filings that talk about the legal filings are different from press releases because these are, basically required by their legal team. So if you type in EURI, and they don't talk about this in their press releases, but if you go to filings and disclosures, it's all public. This is the beautiful thing. You just have to do it. So right here, the 10Q. This is the type of form. This is their quarterly report. And it's very lawyer, legal. Actually, we have a DVD. Michael Good and I co-authored it, How to Read SEC Filings. I say it's like natural NyQuil. It puts you to sleep like every night when you're trying to read this. So this is, they announced their cash and cash equivalents. So as of December 31st, 2004, they had 4,800. This is literally it. Sometimes, you see balance sheets with like 3 zeros, so that would be 4.8 million. There's not 3 zeros. They have $12,000 in the fucking bank. That's it. They are pump and dumps. They are boiler room pump and dumps. So it's not a question if they're going to fail, it's a question of when. And the answer is when the promotional mailers stop. And you just have to find shares to short. And that is what Michael did do. Interactive Brokers is what he used. They're better for shorting stocks. Correct. Yes. Correct. Correct. It's not 3 zeros. They have $12,000. They have 40. Because these are, basically required by their legal team. So if you type in EURI, they don't talk about this in their press releases, but if you go to filings and disclosures, it's all public. This is the beautiful thing. You just have to do it. So if you type in EURI, they don't talk about it. Also required to file SEC filings, legal filings that talk about the legal filings are different from press releases because these are,
In 10 miles, turn right onto 139th Avenue Northwest.
They don't talk about this in their press releases, but if you go to filings and disclosures, it's all public. This is the beautiful thing. You just have to do it. So right here, the 10Q. This is a type of form. This is press releases. But if you go to filing, basically required by their legal team. So if you type in EURI, and they don't talk about this in their press releases, but if you go to filings and disclosures, it's all public. This is the beautiful thing. You just have to do it. So right here, the 10Q. This is a type of form. This is their quarterly report. And it's very lawyer, legal. Actually, we have a DVD. Michael Good and I co-authored it, How to Read SEC Filings. I say it's like natural NyQuil. It puts you to sleep like every night when you're trying to read this. So this is, they announced their cash and cash equivalents. So as of December 31st, 2004, they have 4,800. This is literally it. Sometimes, you see balance sheets with like 3 zeros, so that would be 4.8 million. There's not 3 zeros. They have $12,000 in the fucking bank. That's it. They are pump and dumps. They are boiler room pump and dumps. So it's not a question if they're going to fail. It's a question of when. And the answer is when the promotional mailers stop. And you just have to find shares to short. And that is what Michael did. Interactive Brokers is what he used. They're better for shorting stocks. Correct. Yes. Correct. 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 And so he held this one. He has much more patience. He held this one for a month. And he made 61% on his money. But and he didn't even have to cover. The thing is at 10 cents. He covered at 17 cents. So it's dropped another 50% since he covered. But he took his profits, That's fine. He made 20 grand. That's fantastic. Correct. And then compare it to the mailer. Because then, you can see the mailer too. EURI. Promo mailer. So people post the mailers when they get them. So there's an article here why it's going to zero. This isn't rocket science. So this is the promotional mailer. We present you the only best soaring stock tips. Promo mailer. So people post the mailers when they get them. So there's an article here why it's going to zero. This isn't rocket science. So this is the promotional mailer. We present you the only best soaring stock tips. Read now. Yeah, exactly. EURI. It's a hotbed for water read. It's sitting on a cash cow. Well, it's sitting on $12,000, right? This is an $80 billion industry. And if you scroll down, you can see at the bottom there's going to be a little disclaimer. This is not a press release. This is, an ad. I don't even know if it's So you see, look at this. With $12,000 in cash and $2.2 million in liabilities, but it's clear they can't really make any moves. So not only do they only have $12,000 in cash, they're also $2.2 million in debt. It's a fucking fraud! So he bet against it. And Interactive Brokers have shares. So that's it. I'm trying to find good companies and I'm trying to find shitty companies. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Can you find shares to short? You have to check Interactive Brokers to see if there's any shares to short. A lot of times, I mean, I have a whole music video called No Borrow, No Cry. And I'm like, oh, you know, all these different stands that I see and there's no shares to short. That happens sometimes.
half a mile, First Street West. In 3/4 of a mile, turn right onto East Broadway.
There you go. Craigslist. Craigslist is where it's at, bro. Colorado, Texas, Louisiana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Montana, probably. I don't know. But Louisiana. You know, those are all states you can Craigslist out and see if they have any driving opportunities for oil field. And I'm sure you'll find something. Pick one. Just pick a state where you want to go. Go.
They want to believe this, bullshit from the weather. Look, this is ridiculous. This is an $80 billion plus industry, one of the fastest growing segments of food industry on the planet. The company has $12,000 in cash and $2.2 million in debt. Doesn't matter. The cash is all that matters.
For the industry, right? Because a lot of
correct. No, you're right. You're right. Hey, True Religion jeans. You guys know True Religion jeans? It was a Vancouver pump and dump saying these jeans are going to change the world. The fucking jeans actually took off, and now True Religion actually has an office right on Wall Street just to rub it in that they actually made it. So every now and then it can happen, especially with oil fields or diamond mining. Miracles can happen. But with this company, look, put your trust in EURI. Why should I trust this company? Like, you can read how manipulative this is. They own prime property in Romania. This gives them access to land, beach, swamps, sea, and fresh water. The swamps are a hotbed for water reed. Water reed is a long and thin, slightly bamboo. Reed is used, so they're selling bamboo. Crazy shit, but whatever. Hey, there's a lot of bamboo. But the fact is, this company is fundamentally bankrupt. So, and there's a lot of them. This is just one of them. But by showing you Michael Good, so this is one of his trades, but look at his chart. So, he's commenting, he wins roughly 63% of the time. But you see his wins, they're all small wins, small losses, and then 23,000. And this is his profit chart since he started studying with me in 2008. He's made 1.6 million. So again, it's not huge money. You're working 6 years, best case scenario is you're making 1.6 million. There's a lot of industries where you can make more, but it's very highly probable. You're betting against scams. That's it. So I want you guys opening up, either paper trading accounts if you don't want to risk any money, or open up a small brokerage account for like $2,000 to $5,000, and just try to see these analysts. I'll add you to my chat room. We have 1,200 traders chatting about everything. They're just degenerates. It's like the people who sit at the penny slots in Vegas and they're just like, so they're trying everything.
You like piggyback off of some of your guys?
You don't want to do that. My business is teaching. I trade with a very small account because I want people to see that it doesn't make me money to trade. It costs me more to send out a text message to everybody than I make on a trade.
Dice, right?
Yeah.
Dice?
Yeah.
Right, so
I don't gamble.
Dice, dice, right? So listen, you get dice, right? You go around the table, and what you do is, Jimmy got a hot hand. So I'm coming, Jimmy got a hot hand.
You're piggybacking him.
I'm piggybacking on Jimmy because
That's cool.
Jimmy's hand is hot.
Yeah.
Tim says, get these whatever 5 things. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Sometimes, correct.
But
listen, no, that's the usefulness. I rip on the chat room because they're degenerates, but sometimes traders do get hot hands, and you're like, they're seeing the market with their longs or their shorts or whatever, and you're just like, okay, whatever this guy is saying, like, he feels it. He's in the zone. What was his name on the Knicks the other night? Amophalo. I can't pronounce his name. Afalo. He's terrible, and then he makes 38 points in one night. A hot hand. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm long suffering. So, sometimes you have that. But a lot of the time it's just waiting for the right opportunities. Right now there's no pump and dumps. Otherwise I would be explaining, here's a pump and dump, this is going to crash. There's nothing going on right now. This was last month. So you have to wait for the next pump and dump. Meet me, it's already done. It's already gone up 20% since I bought. Right now the market's down 5%, kind of tricky to play anything. Go into the weekend, don't even think about the market. But I want you guys at least thinking about this conversation. Next week, start putting a plan together. Do you want a paper trade? Do you want to open up a real brokerage account? And do it part-time, Hire you guys as fucking spokespeople. I don't care. I just love teaching, and I love showing this new side that no one else really considers. No one talks about this on CNBC or TheStreet.com or Wall Street or Bloomberg. It's everyone's little dirty secret. EURI was actually promoted by 20 of the most major financial websites because you sign up for Kramer doesn't do it, but there's other people. But you sign up for their websites and then they rent out their email list and they say this is a third-party thing. It's the dirty little secret. Nobody really wants to talk about it. But you learn all these financially naive people and they get squashed. It's Linsanity and then it's over. He was on the cover twice on Sports Illustrated. No one ever did that. 2 consecutive. And now what's he doing? He's still decent, but it's not Linsanity anymore. That was a pump and dump. I actually think I might have even written a blog post about that. Like I would short Jeremy Lin. I don't think it's going to last. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Simon Cowell couldn't have produced it better, okay? It was a beautiful storyline. But again, if you don't have the right fundamentals, you can be a flash in the pan. It's a penny stock. And it's very exciting. Oh, it's so exciting when a penny stock is soaring or there's a new player. But Are they going to do it consistently? Are they going to be the next LeBron? Probably not. That's today's lesson. Thank you guys. I hope you learned a little something. You like it? Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. No, it's good. It's a good start. You know, this is just the start. We can. Good.
Sometimes, like in basketball, you're teaching kids to learn their own guys.
Yeah.
Coaching them for offense. Let's say this is John Wooden.
Yeah.
UCLA offense. John Wooden's UCLA offense had so many different offenses inside that one. But a lot of guys
Well, there's too many plans. It confuses you. That's finance. That's a financial planner's dream. To confuse you so that you're just like, I don't want to do anything. Just take my money and take 2%.
The basic understanding of the winning offense is without the ball.
Yeah.
Away. Right? So, that's teaching us. So, remember how we're standing still, balls not matching.
Yeah.
So once you can understand that, once you can understand
You understand the fundamentals and then you pick your spots. And we're all different. We have different personalities, different strengths and weaknesses. So you find your spot. You really seem to like the fact that you can spot, you know, go to OTC markets, basically see that this company is a fraud in black and white. That's a lot more specific than trying to judge me, like, is it going to go up 10% or 20%? This is a 50%, and I have 100 examples of pumps just like that. And the main thing is just finding shares to short. And if you do find shares to short, it'll be a few $1,000. But it feels fucking good. There's like some social justice, you know, making a few $1,000 as the pump, you know, combusts. Yeah. Some people do, but that's not my style. Everyone has different styles. I mean, there's some traders, they have like 8 monitors and they're managing 17 positions and they post, okay, I won on 9, I lost on, I don't know how to do anything. I do one at a time, this is a pump and dump. One at a time, this stock is up. I'm self-taught, you know. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 plays, but even then, if I'm watching 2 or 3 plays and like I'm betting on one going higher and one going lower, like I'm confused. My brain is like, I'm always looking for signs. If I'm betting against a stock, I'm looking for signs that it keeps cracking. And it often does. This is, tell me. Yeah. You gotta check it. You gotta split. Yeah. But most traders don't evolve. Most traders are stuck in stage 1. So if they blow by you or you blow by them, you know, in a layup, they're not going to evolve. Maybe smarter, richer people will evolve and they'll, you know, slide over and protect it. Penny stock people doing the same fucking thing every time. Okay. Yeah. It's beautiful. Because you can see if you do this, then they're going to react this way, and then I can take advantage of that. You're trying to see a step ahead, or 2 steps ahead. Here's just a few examples of penny stocks when they collapse. This is Hiroyoshi Worldwide. It dropped from 270 to 130. This is all one day. So it dropped 50%. They're pump and dump. They send out tons of mailers. But the genius press release was, they said that they're in Saks Fifth Avenue. They were it's like a Japanese tattoo artist, and he's going to come out with his own clothing line. Which, you know, I'm always thinking about True Religion jeans, like it might take off. So I'm like, oh, Saks Fifth Avenue, you got to be careful. But if you look at Saks Fifth Avenue, you look at the press release, it's actually Saks Fifth Avenue, Mexico. And Saks Fifth Avenue, Mexico is an own independent store. So he signed one deal, which probably gave the guy like fucking 1,000 pesos, like carry my stuff. They put out a press release. and it tricked everybody. Never took off. Here's the Shaq pump that died. Here's Nene and dropped from 3 down to a bucket. So I love this where it looks so stable. Like, look at it, it's okay, it's okay. And there's people on boiler rooms all over the world that are calling people. This still happens. They're like, look at the stock. Look how steady it gradually goes up. And then all of a sudden, whack! And you take the rug, just take it out from under. This is the best one. Manchester. Every single one of these days is one day. So June, July, August, September, it goes up. In 3 days, 8 down to 3. The pump and dump stopped. So this is, if you didn't see the right side of this chart, you would think this is a very secure investment. But if you understand the underlying fundamental flaws of this company had no cash, and it's being promoted, actually it's being promoted by a boiler room in Manila, okay? There's boiler rooms all over the world. Once they stop, look at it. It's the end. It's going up 8, 10, 17. The rug gets pulled out from under. This one was great. Correct. That was a high-priced one. This one was my favorite, CLRH. If you actually did research, which I did, I have a blog post. They were based out of a Honey Baked Hams. Their address was a corporate address of a Honey Baked Hams. Total fraud. They weren't even a company. You just had to Google the address. Google has killed a lot of these pump because now you can do a street view. And I wrote, this fucking company is based out of a Honey Baked Hams. They're lying about their address. The cell phone was registered to this guy, or the corporate office was registered to the guys who had a cell phone. And it was a cell phone. And I'm talking to the fucking CEO, right? It dropped from $1.75 to 25 cents, 88% in 4 days. They sent out the mailers every single day here. I can't predict commodities. I stay away from oil. I stay away from gold. I stay away from all that. It's so uncertain. I don't know if there's going to be a fucking terrorist event. Probably not. Hopefully not. But there might be, and then oil surges 10%. There might be some talks with an Austrian ambassador right now talking about Saudi Arabia. That's global macro shit. George Soros, Warren Buffett, billionaires have the best info. They don't give a shit about this. This is opportunity. Here's another one. And they just keep going. Sponge Tech actually was a fun one. Have you ever heard of Sponge Tech? They sponsored Madison Square Garden. They had soap in the sponges already. So when you squeeze it, the soap would come out. It's actually a good idea, right? The problem was they had no orders whatsoever. They said that they had an order. It turned out to be a fake number in Dubai. New York Post did a big expose on them, and the stock crashed. And they advertised on Madison Square Garden, the U.S. Open. They signed all these sporting deals, which they defaulted on. But they had the stock ticker everywhere, all over TV. It was on SportsCenter. ESPN wrote on that. So, well, they have no product. They have no sales. And I think the CFO was busted because their corporate counsel, their lead lawyer, turned out to be fake. The corporate counsel's phone number was the CEO's fax number. It's like, there's so many idiots. They don't think that anyone's going to do this digging. And now, thanks to the internet, you can see this. This was EMGE. This guy, who's a doctor who lost his medical license, and now he's coming out with vitamins infused with stem cells, which is medically impossible. You can't put stem cells in vitamins. And it doesn't matter. It kept going up. And I wrote an expose on it, and the CEO actually took out an anonymous blog, and he said, here are 7 reasons why Tim Sykes is wrong. And at the end, he's like, I don't care if Tim Sykes calls me out. I don't care if the SEC calls me out. And the SEC is like the stock market police. And I was like, did this fucking idiot just admit to that the SEC is asking him the questions? And then he deletes the blog post, stock crashes. And he stupidly admitted it. He didn't know. He's like, oh, I'll answer everyone's questions, even if the SEC is calling. They're not smart, okay? And there's shares to short of these. So I look forward to every new pump and dump. I don't look forward to the people who get scammed and they inevitably find me because they type in the company name and scam, and then they find me after they lose all their money because I usually write an expose warning people. But there's opportunities. There will always be new scams. There will always be new pump and dumps. Boiler rooms will always exist. There was a pump and dump the other day on WhatsApp. WhatsApp started sending out all these spam mailers on this stock, and the stock spiked 100% on WhatsApp. So any new communication tool, you can promote companies to the financially naive. And then it's just a question of finding shares to short. That's it. That's enough for today. Your brains are overloaded. Thank you guys again for coming. And I'm going to add you to my newsletter and stuff, and you can start seeing how much I send out. It's cool. It's also fun. It's not even just about the money. It's just understanding the way that this kind of world works. So, thank you guys again. Much appreciated. Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't dress up. I didn't get the memo. Look at that. That's a wrap!
My name is Tim Sykes, and I teach people to trade stocks. I am a self-made multimillionaire.
So this is the ideal trade that I'm going to talk about. I want you guys to understand every single aspect of this trade. For as long as you want, or as little as you want. You know, usually I'm trying to buy a catalyst to hold over the next day. But sometimes, even if my goal is to hold the next day, I'm out because something the stock is doing isn't making me feel comfortable. You are in control of when you can enter and you can exit. So you have total control. It's just a question, can you control yourself? And that's not always easy. If you're down, if you bought this at 2 and now it's down to $1.25, do you exit? Or maybe a lot of people double up and they say, let me average down. So they buy it at 2 and then they buy it at $1.25, and now their cost basis is $1.60. And then it goes down to $1 and you're like, fuck, it keeps going against me. Let me double down again. And it's this endless slippery slope. So I don't want you guys to ever get into that. You know, from day one, I don't, you know, even though I lose 30% of the time, my losses are so small. Today I lost like $15 because I exited when I wanted. You know? That's it.
I mean,
It's not-
small. I'm just saying, I'm thinking it from a psychological perspective, right?
Yeah.
Where in life, right? In basketball, put it that way. Like, you don't know if you're going to make the shot unless you take the shot.
Correct.
What shot is a good shot?
Right.
What shot is a bad shot? Do I shoot the ball? Did I just pull up for 3 in the first quarter? Like, is it a bad shot in the third when the momentum is not against them? It's like so many, the analogy of it, for me, start to make so much more sense.
So there's so many different options. I mean, you can shoot from all over the court, but where is your highest percentage shot? Where are you in the game? Does it make sense to take a 3 if you're only down by 1? No. Why would you take a shot where you have a 30% chance of winning when you can drive down the lane, maybe get fouled, or take something where you have a good hook and you have like a 56% shot of winning? So it's about choosing your shots and understanding where the opportunity is. You know, if you are down by 3 with 5 seconds to go, it doesn't make sense to take a 2. You got to shoot the 3.
And another thing too, I was thinking about it, especially in the beginning for me, not as much for him because he's working, but it's just about being as conservative as possible, just really get comfortable. So then, like, after a while, you think about it, right? After a while, if I do make a shitload of money in the next couple of years in this, then I can say, you know what, I'm gonna take $100,000, I'm gonna spend it, I don't care if I do lose. Like that, you can gamble if you wanted to, but in the beginning, if you wanted to try to become rich, it's just not the smart thing to do because. Right?
So this is called paper money. So Thinkorswim is a brokerage from TD Ameritrade. You can just open up a practice account. You don't have to bet any money. And a lot of people start with this because you're practicing to see, are you better at buys? Are you good at holding for an hour? Are you good at holding for a day? Stuff like that. And this way you can practice. There's no risk. It's a fantasy stock market, basically. And a lot of people do that. I don't use this, but I know a lot of students who do. No. So I use E-Trade and Interactive Brokers because I mainly short sell, so I mainly bet on stocks going down. In order to bet on stocks going down, your brokerage has to have shares available to short. TD Ameritrade is not good for shorting. Interactive Brokers is good for stocks under $2 a share. E-Trade is good for $3 to $10 stocks. But this is just an example, just to show you the practice. Even Tim Gertani, who took $1,500 and now $2.7 million in 4 years, the first 6 months he lost rather consistently. He lost $20 here, $50 here, $70, but he's working on it. The sports analogy that I give all the time is Pete Sampras. You're familiar with Pete Sampras? Great American tennis player. So early on, I think his coach was either Tim or Tom Collins. I always get it confused. Early on in his teens, he was a top-ranked American, but he wanted to take his game to the next level, and he didn't know how to do that. His coach had a crazy idea. He said, Pete, just hit the ball as hard as you can every time. Don't worry about where it goes. It's like, but I'm not going to be able to control it. And he listened to his coach. He hit all the balls as hard as he could. And people are like, you're fucking crazy. You have no control anymore. His ranking dropped. I think he was like 3rd or 5th in America, and he dropped to like 100th or 200th because he didn't have any control. But gradually, over 6 months, over a year, he was hitting the ball as hard as he could. He was practicing his swing, and gradually he found his control. And because he practiced that way, he shot up all the way to #1, youngest winner of the U.S. Open ever. So to get to the next level, he actually had to drop back and practice his power shots, which is kind of weird. Like normally you think that you can make incremental gains, but sometimes you need to go for an exponential gain. So a lot of my trades, I'm making 1, 2, 3%, and a lot of people are like, oh, you're not making any money. But then you wait for that one good trade and you make 25 grand. I'll give you another example. This guy who's actually going to be on Steve Harvey with me, Good Trades. So he's a crazy looking guy, but he's actually fantastic. 5 seconds. So this is his website, and he shows off his trades. I like showing all the trades publicly too. I'm a big believer in showing it. So these are all his trades. So he makes 20 bucks, 23,000, loses 100, loses 25. Hey, what? Look at all of his trades. They're all small trades, and then one trade he makes 23,000. Okay? This is my first millionaire student, Michael Good. And this was a pump and dump EURI that, yeah, sometimes he does 3, it varies. So this is, so he's in and out for a penny because the stock didn't go his way. So he makes a penny, he loses a penny, it's a scratch. The vast majority of his trades are scratches. But then he has one where he makes $23,000. And you don't know which one of these is going to be the $23,000. Yeah. In 17. Correct. He was betting against it. So this is a blatant pump and dump. This is EURI. So as we talked about, the Shack mailer, that's just one. There's always companies that are being promoted with mailers. This stock went up from 25 cents to $2. Okay? So 8 times your money in a few days because the mailers are getting sent out. Then the mailer stopped. Okay? And it comes all the way back down. So he takes a short position. He starts betting against it at 45 cents.
So it's the same concept as when it starts going down and
Correct. When the mailers stop. Correct. Because now the mailers have stopped. And a lot of people are still, who bought because of the mailers, they're just holding and hoping. Maybe there'll be more mailers. Maybe.
My name is Tim Seitz, and I teach people to trade stocks. I am a self-made multimillionaire.
So this is the ideal trade that I'm going to talk about. I want you guys to understand every single aspect of this trade. What's up? My name is Tim Seitz. That's my car. Come on in. So I wanted to give you a little glimpse of my lifestyle. I work hard, I live well, and what you should know about me is that I like to go big. This is a big house. Sometimes I stay in big presidential suites. When you work hard and you make a lot of money, you gotta go big. Yeah, okay, I'm done with that. Whoa! So, let me show you where I actually spend most of my time. This is basically what I do all day. Just looking at stocks, researching stocks, and then teaching other people. Most traders lose money in this industry, but with a community of actual successful traders behind you, you can do a lot of things that never were before possible. So it's kind of my baby right here. I'm very proud of it. It's not the normal 9 to 5. Sometimes I'm working 10 hours in a day. Some days I don't even work. So it doesn't matter where I am. All I need is the internet, and I can work from anywhere in the world. I've been doing this for nearly 2 decades now. I got started when I was young. I've reached all my goals, and I'm not afraid to show it off. Once you make it, you should show it off. But I'm never stopping challenging myself. I'm always looking for more students. I'm looking to create more millionaires so that more people can have views like this. This is why I love this place, okay? Just look at this, Financial freedom is the goal for everybody. And it should be, because once you have that, you can do whatever you want. You can travel the world, you can get big places like this. That should be your goal so that you can really, really focus on what you love in life and not work for somebody that you hate. Thank you you guys for coming over. I'm glad you got to see a little bit of the way that I live, the way that I work, and some of the fun that you can have when you work hard. See you later. This is not like Vegas where you have to put money on black or red and you double your money or you lose everything. You can exit a trade for a 1% gain or a 1% loss. Sometimes I have a busy schedule today. Like I'm filming all this stuff today, right? So I exited my trade earlier today and I missed out on potential profits, but it's for my schedule. So you can do this however much you want. I don't think you guys are going to be full-time traders. You're not going to sit there all day. You're going to be like, hold on, I can't, film today on TV, I'm trading. I don't think that's going to be you. I think this is like, okay, if there's an opportunity in the background, let me try and make a few extra bucks. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe you guys do want to be full-time traders. It doesn't matter to me. Well, so like my student in Colorado, Tim Bertani, probably 15 hours a day, 13 hours a day, he's watching, researching, creating spreadsheets at night of stocks that interest him, and he's the one who took 1,500 and turned it into 2.7 million. So he's insane. We took him to the Maldives, and I was like getting drunk at night, we're filming all day, and I'm like, oh, this is the Maldives. And he brought his computer to the dinner table, and I'm like, and I shut it, and I shut it in the middle of his trade. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that, but I was drunk, right? And so he's like obsessive. So you can, that's his personality. And that's why he's been so successful. I mean, I showed you a few examples. He has probably, 200, 300 different spreadsheets on his computer showing different kinds of patterns. Like, here's 50 companies that are up 5% today. Here's 50 companies that are up 7% over the past week. Like, he has different scans, and he sees how well those scans do in every market. So you can be like that. I'm not that meticulous. I can't even work a spreadsheet. I'm not good at math. He's great at math. But then I also have some people like Tim Bowen, who's actually coming on the Steve Harvey show with me. And he makes roughly 50 grand a year, does this as a side job. He takes a look 5 minutes in the morning. If there's a hot play, he might buy it. If there's a stock that's too hot, he might short it. Maybe trades for a half hour in the morning, then closes up shop. So there's so many different, and everything in between. You can choose your own time. My point in what I tried to teach you is to recognize basic chart patterns like this, because this is called technical analysis. This is still not accepted in the finance industry. Like what I teach is I'm like voodoo. It's like most people value companies based on earnings and profits. Charts shouldn't matter. As a trader, charts are all that matters. I don't care if Meet Me increased their earnings estimates from 25 million to 26 million. I'm not interested in the numbers. I'm interested in the catalyst, the fact that they're even increasing earnings. That means they're doing something right. The fact that their stock is uptrending, they're doing something right. This company is in an oil business, which is just a cheap business. It doesn't matter how well you execute it. It's a tough business, and it's going down. So I'm a big believer in long-term trends, and I'm trying to see, what trend really matters. SSN, even though it was going down, spiked up here. Will that trend hold? And the answer already, it's dropping 20% every single day. The answer is no, because oil is a terrible, terrible company and industry to be in right now. Meet Me is in the hot social networking business. There's a lot of wannabe social networks, but this one is actually increasing numbers. So I'm trying to judge, is this company doing well? Is there a good chance of it spiking more? Or is this company doing badly and it's probably going to go back down to it? That's it. It's a very simple game. It's not like, oh, this company is releasing a new product in China, I think it's going to do well. I don't give a damn. These companies have one product. That's what makes them so much fun. With Apple, you got 32 products. The iWatch might have bombed, but the other 30 products are doing great. So how do you value that in the stock? I don't know. I like companies with one product, either succeeding or failing. Any questions so far?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out as far as Meet Me, as far as the information, right?
Yeah.
I see it fluctuating as it spikes up.
Yeah.
You stay, of course it's a judgment call. Do you stay with of what you read?
No. So the fact that, the press releases are usually the spec. So the basically said this press release, Meet Me raises full-year financial guidance. So I think the press release is positive. In my mind, it's a positive press release. It's a positive catalyst. Is it very positive? Is it a little positive? Will it spike the stock 20 cents? Will it spike the stock 50 cents? I don't know. And as it turned out, from my buy, at 368, it's now up, 60 cents a share. So it's up 15% in 2 days since I bought it. I got out for like 3% gains, so I underestimated it. But, do you guys play pool at all? When you hit, and I'm terrible with pool names, but if you hit the ball and you call the pocket, then it's going to be in, right? If it goes in another pocket, you still hit the ball in a pocket, but it's not the one that you called. So for me, I go into every single trade with a very specific plan. I wanted this stock to spike right when I bought it, within the first hour. But because the overall market was collapsing, and in the back of my mind I'm thinking 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market, I'm not going to risk it. If the market had been strong overall, I might have given it more time. I'm not going to go back in time.
So you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
I didn't take my notice of you bet on it spiking just a little bit for you enough to get just 15-20%, and then boom, you'll get out no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what,
I will
anything else, even if you short,
Exactly.
you're like, all right, it's going to short, so I'm going to
Exactly.
bet against it for the next hour, and then I'm going to drop.
Exactly, 100%. So today, for example, EARS, I'm playing pool and I'm calling, a certain pocket. I'm sure there's better pool terms. I don't have time for it. But, so with EARS, here's a 5-day chart, and you can look at different multiple time frames, and I like this. So, so with this one, yesterday it's downtrending. The low right here is 650. But it also, this was the beginning of today. So it was downtrending all day, and remember, this stock is up from the 4s. So it's gone from 4s to the 6s. I don't think this is a good company. I think this is going to come down. The question is, how will it come down and when will it come down? So you want to remember recent lows. So the recent low here was 650. It came back up here to 7-ish, and I'm shorting it, betting against it, that it's going to come back down to 650. And if and when it comes back down to 650, it's going to crack, which actually it did perfectly. But before it cracked perfectly, it also spiked for a little bit. And I cut losses. I got out roughly break even because of my schedule today. So even though it did exactly what I wanted, it didn't do it in the time frame that I wanted it to, or that I needed it to. If I wasn't filming, if I was just sitting in front of a computer, I don't know. I have a busy life. I try and fit in trading around that. The worst thing that you can do, though, is just hold and hope. Even though I went in with a plan, I knew that I was filming. So I did not want to just hold this and leave it. Like, if you go to Vegas and you put $10,000, you say, I got to go take a dump. I mean, just watch those 10,000 for me. People will steal it, You can't leave your money on the table. That's how I trade. Tim Bertani, my student in Colorado, he differs a little bit. He's always watching, so he doesn't want to. We invited him on the Steve Harvey show. He's like, no, I'm sorry, I got to focus. That's cool. That's his thing. So it depends on your schedule. It depends on your own, mindset.
Right. You don't have as much patience. You want to get that stock an hour, 2 hours, or whatever. If that, sometimes you want to gamble a little longer, but your whole purpose is to get in and out as fast, no matter if it goes up or down.
Correct. Because if I'm right, and sometimes I'm dead on right, and I make 10, 20, 30% in an hour, I'll give you an example right here.
What's your minimum maximum of literally betting on that stock?
So it depends on...
You work in 5 days, so I'm trying to figure out exactly.
Yeah.
You bet 500, you bet 2,000 on that? How does that go?
So it depends on the chart pattern. It depends on your schedule. It depends on,
It all depends on your pocket.
Yeah, it depends on your pocket. A lot of my students only have $2,000 to their name, so they're not going to bet 2,000. I never say go all in. If they have 2,000, I might say, okay, maybe use like 300 or 400. Use like 20% of your account or 30% of your account. For me, for a lot of people who take on trading, I trade in order to teach at this point. I'm trading with a $12,000 account, and I was trying to calculate this. I'm trading with roughly 6,000 of my net worth. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if I bet 12,000, if I bet 20 grand, if I bet 5 grand. it's very small. But at the same time, I don't want to go all in. I don't want to teach the wrong things. If you go into a trade with a few $1,000s, go in with a target. So let's say you open up an account with $5,000. And you say, okay, I'll give this a shot. I'm going to bet $1,000 in this one, long or short. Whenever you go into a trade, I don't want to just try.
1,000 at one particular stock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I only do one stock at a time. There are some traders, they take like 5 trades. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, well, he sometimes takes 2 positions, but it's very concentrated. Because again, we're trading penny stocks with very specific chart patterns, very specific catalysts. Some days I don't even trade. You know, it's not like trading Amazon or Google, where there's so many movements every day, you can make $1 here on a $300 stock. I'm trying to find stocks that are going to move 20, 30, 50, 100% in a day or two.
Okay, so let me ask you this one.
Yeah.
I can take like meat, and I say, all right, you know what? I'm liking meat. I'll take $1,000. I'll buy some shares a week, and then I'm gonna do that until for the next 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
I make about 30% of my money, 20% of my money, whatever. I get off of it.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
sold it, right?
Yeah.
Sold it.
Yeah.
And then I go to EARS.
Yeah.
And then I do that. That's what you mean, like individually?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
like ERS 1,000, BP 1,000, all at the same time.
Sometimes I'll have 2 positions at a time, but very rarely. Most of the time, there's one hot penny stock that all the traders are playing. The cool thing with these stocks is that because these companies don't really matter, their businesses don't really matter, it's more about finding where the mob of traders are. Because the mob of traders are very fickle. So they'll bid a stock up just because it's hot and they're trying to ride it. And then when there's no more to ride, then you can actually ride it down. So it's very, binary. Up and down, buy or sell, one product, succeed or fail. So that's why I like it. It's so simple. But let me show you an example here. So this was my last year. I had a record year. I think it was $1 million trading. But there's one chart. I want to show this. Yeah. Well, this was 2014, so I guess it's a year and a half. Yeah. I started the year with 500 grand, and I made about 840 grand. This is the kid from Colorado. Those are my first 2 years. This is the man over. I told Steve Harvey people, I was like, I'm going to have some of my students on. Like, how do you feel about, like, people who aren't really good at landscaping? And the producer was just like, wait, what? And I was like, I was just like, it's kind of crazy. Once you look at these numbers enough, it's all kind of crazy. Where's the chart? Get to the chart. Gamble at all.
Double, yeah. You throw dice.
I don't think. I don't like it because the odds of those things are not very good. So here's a good example. So this was, I took some of my students on this $12 million yacht for the TV show Below Deck. I do these little shows every now and then. And I was like, oh, I got to trade live for this, TV crew. And so I went big on this stuff. So this is EKSO, this is the chart. So each one of these candles represents 1 day. So it's doing nothing, it's doing nothing, it's doing nothing. But right here, it gets great enough. EKSO, actually we have a good product that made this robotic exoskeleton. For people who can't move anymore now, using the exoskeleton, you can push your hands and you can actually walk. It's actually an amazing product. But not really a good business. Each seat costs like $200,000. Most people can't afford it. So they sell like 50 of them. It's not a scalable business, but it's amazing. On this day right here, you can see here, so it's kind of doing nothing, it's hanging around $2.40. But right here, it gets written about on CNN. There's an article that says, this company can make people walk again. And there's a picture of this lady walking in St. Peter's Square in Italy. So it's like, oh, it's amazing. And it's like the publicist, whoever did that was a genius, right? But that story started getting spread around. I don't care so much about the news until it reacts to stock. The news is nice. That's beautiful that this person can walk again.
Right, so if you see it jump up, that's when you start buying.
Correct. I don't want to be the first one to buy. I want to piggyback the move that's already happened. So the article was written right here. You can see this green there. I bought it right here, frankly, because the TV crew was in my face and I wanted to prove that I was like this big swing. So I bet like $350,000. I normally don't bet that big. But I was like trying to do this on the yacht, and the yacht had terrible Wi-Fi, so I actually had to call in my order. It's all filmed. I'm like, this is gonna be great TV, right? So I bought this in the force because the stock is breaking down, because I'm buying it on a Friday. So January and Friday are two very important kinds of seasonality. January stocks get spiked because of the tax loss sale. Friday stocks get spiked because the news gets spread over the weekend. A lot of people are busy during the weekend. You know, you don't have time to read. I think you see that article came out on the Wednesday, but it started getting shared on social media on Thursday and Friday, and then on the weekend, everyone saw it. People take time off and be like, wow, this is an amazing story. So I bought this $350,000 worth at around $4.96. On Monday, because so many people were amped up about this story, it opened up at $6 a share. I took profits because I had the biggest profit. I made $70,000 on this yacht. It was all filmed. But I went big because of the situation I was in. Normally, I probably would have bought 5,000 shares and made $5,000. But I was in it specifically for $1 a share. But this was my goal, even though
Monday you cut your off.
I cut my profit. Yeah, because I went in with a plan. When I bought this stock, I specifically said I want to buy it at around 5, and I want to sell it on a Monday gap up. I didn't know if the stock would gap up to 5.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Even if it didn't gap up, I would cut out. No, because I go in with a specific plan. You know, I'm playing pool and I'm trying to hit it into that stupid pocket. You can beat me, but you both. So an hour after I sold at 6, it went to 8. So I could have made $200,000. But I don't care. I made $70,000. They paid for the entire yacht trip. So even though they didn't show it on TV, it was good karma because I took my students and it was a free yacht trip. But that's what I want to teach you. I go in like a sniper. If it doesn't work, I'm out. Aim small, miss small. That's my philosophy.
My name is Tim Sykes, and I teach people.
Hey, what up, boy?
What's up? My name is Tim Sykes. That's my car. Come on in. So I wanted to give you a little glimpse of my lifestyle. You know, I work hard, I live well, and what you should know about me is that I like to go big. This is a big house. Sometimes I stay in big presidential suites. When you work hard and you make a lot of money, you know, you gotta go big. Yeah, okay, I'm done with that. Whoa! So, let me show you where I actually spend most of my time. This is basically what I do all day, just looking at stocks, researching stocks, and then teaching other people. Most traders lose money in this industry, but with a community of actual successful traders behind you, you know, you can do a lot of things that never were before possible. So it's kind of my baby right here. I'm very proud of it. You know, it's not the normal 9 to 5. Sometimes I'm working 10 hours in a day. Some days I don't even work. So it doesn't matter where I am. All I need is the internet, and I can work from anywhere in the world. I mean, I've been doing this for nearly 2 decades now. I got started when I was young. I've reached all my goals, and I'm not afraid to show it off. You know, once you make it, you should show it off. But I'm never stopping challenging myself. I'm always looking for more students. I'm looking to create more millionaires so that more people can have views like this. This is why I love this place, okay? Just look at this, you know? Financial freedom is the goal for everybody. And it should be, because once you have that, you can do whatever you want. You can travel the world, you can get in places like this. That should be your goal so that you can really, really focus on what you love in life and not work for somebody that you hate. Thank you guys for coming over. I'm glad you got to see a little bit of the way that I live, the way that I work. You know, some of the fun that you can have when you work hard. Let's do it. Welcome to my latest little teaching episode here. I've got 2 NBA greats, Jim Jackson, Katino Mobley, are joining us, and we're going to talk about penny stocks. Because frankly, I think there's a lot of opportunity here. Not Wolf of Wall Street, but actually, trading the volatility up and down. So you were sending me pictures of futures. Get that open yet?
I did that
It's all right. We'll get to that. I use B-Trade. It's just a basic brokerage. You just want some simple tool. Your broker is your weapon. Like basketball, you need like good shoes. In order to do a stock trade, you need a broker. And I hate fucking brokers. I hate them all, but you need them. So I use B-Trade. It's simple. So right here we're looking at two stocks, GSI and ARS. With penny stocks, what you're going to learn is that the companies don't matter. I know most people want to invest in Google and Facebook and Apple, big products, worldwide revenue. With penny stocks, I don't give a shit. I'm trading the volatility. It's almost like the Vegas version of the stock market. A lot of people think that it's random, it's manipulated, you can't predict it, that's bullshit.
Let's take US 85 and North Dakota 22. Continue straight for 45 minutes to US 85 business. Let's take US 85 and US 85 business. Continue straight for 40 minutes to US 85 business.
Most penny stocks are going to go absolutely bankrupt. Like this company, probably a year from now, what's today's date? January 7, 2000, what? January 8th. It's been a rough holiday. So January 8, 2015, GSI is at $1.91. By January 8, 2016, 2017, this is probably going to drop 100%, maybe 90%. Almost every single penny stock fails. So that's the advantage that you have with these low price stocks. You don't know if Apple's going to like have an amazing product, like the iWatch is going to take off, which you didn't experience last day. You don't know what company's going to make it or not. Penny stocks, you know that these are almost all going to fail. That's not to say that they can't spike a lot before they fail, but you know the end game. That's a huge advantage. So if you're really ever going to kind of guess, how the characters got to that. With real companies, you don't know. Anything will go up or down. Microsoft will come down, Apple will fall, Facebook might come down some price. Probably not, but it might happen. So with this, I just want you to get used to this kind of volatility. Because imagine right now Facebook is at roughly $100 a share. So imagine if this were Facebook stock and it went 10 times. That would mean that Facebook went from $100 to $1,000 in 5 days. Never going to happen. Just not that volume. They might announce a big press release, might have good revenues or something, a new product, and it'll go from 100 to 105. So it'll go up 5%, which is a lot for a big company. But with small companies, that's a very maximum volatility. And I want to partake in that. You can buy it up too. Here is another example. EARS. So this is another penny stock. This is a 10-day chart, and it basically went from $4 up to $8, and now it's fading. I was betting against this actually last night at around $7 a share. I got out roughly break even because I'm trading with very small accounts here and I just want to protect it. I don't think we're going to have a good 2016. I was telling you about this earlier. I think this is going to be a rough year, so I don't necessarily need to trade big right now. We've had a 7-year bull market. Sometimes you got to take, your foot off the pedal. You don't need to go full on aggressive like, we're going to be the bull market. Obviously, this is in America. We're probably going to do well over the long term, but we're going to have down years every now and then. I think this is one of them. EARS, again, this is a kind of company, and you can tell how the company is based on the yearly chart. So I'm looking at, this is a 10-day chart, this is a 1-year chart. And over the year, it just kind of gradually goes down, and then something happens here. So right now, this is January. This is very good time. I've never heard of the January effect. So with penny stocks, because most people don't Tim Sykes here, crazy day. I ended up picking the single biggest winner in the entire stock market. BGI, which finished up 400+%. At one point, it was up 800%. Insane moves. I want to go over this really quickly. I have a meeting to get to. I'm working on this new TV show that I'm planning with several dedicated students. I'm going to be choosing several trading challenge students to be on the show with me, and I'll talk more about that when I can. But I got to get going, so this is going to be a quick little video lesson. First, I should mention traderandinvestorsummit.com. Here is the website. Go to it. We have just 12 tickets left for the early bird pricing. Roughly $100 a day for 3 days in Orlando in September. We got a whole bunch of millionaire students and other millionaire traders who are going to speak. Very excited about this. We're going to be live trading. You should also mention this if you go to timsitesale.com. This is a little special July 4th sale that we're having. I can't even catch up on all the emails that I'm getting right now, so this is going to go on for a few days, but you can save on a whole bunch of newsletters and DVDs. Preparation is key. A lot of you guys, you're asking me, how do you know about stocks like BGI? First of all, I didn't know it was going to go to $5 a share. Okay, when I was buying it at $1.22, I was simply thinking that it could get back to the day's highs of 140, which it did pretty quickly. And the breakout wasn't even that much when I was actually holding it. It got to like the 150s. So I was just in it for this. This is just extra, icing on the cake. And in my upcoming DVD called Trader Checklist, I'll help explain exactly why this can happen. This is not the first time this kind of move has happened. FORD was one of my biggest winners in 2015. Exact same kind of low flow run up. from $1 a share. I think that actually got to 4, so this got a little higher. But I made $8 grand, did buying it in the ones, and then later went back to the twos. On this one, I actually caught it pretty well, and I sold too early, but that's cool. Now we got another stock in play right now, OESX, which is spiking right now after hours. I'm in just above 120-ish, and now it's in the 130s. This could be a big spiker. This just announced, I think, a $45 million contract, if I read it correctly. With a new retailer, they're going to basically replace all the lights, and I think the press release said $65,000 per location, and the retailer has 700 locations. So very cool news, and this could run. I'm already up a little bit. I'll be trading this live during my Trading Challenge webinar tomorrow. I did one live webinar per week for my Trading Challenge students, and this is tomorrow. We also have a special free webinar. A lot of stuff going on. A free webinar if you go to TimothySykes.com/celebrate. I spelled it. I'm not getting this. TimothySykes.com/celebrate. And this is a free webinar I'll be giving in roughly 48 hours with my top student, Tim Bertani, who just passed $3 million in profits. I also got to give props to some of the other students. It's been an insane day. Sniper Trades made $640 on BGI. Curtis made $3 grand. Cabin Trader made just under $3 grand. Eric, first day with Stock to Trade, and he made $365 on BGI. Max wants to be an actor. Look at his blue steel look, and he made $3,400. Max, I gotta tell you, you might not want to be an actor. It looks like you got some pretty good trading potential here, and making $3,400 while under the PDT rule is freaking awesome. So congrats, man. Stanley made $2,600. First day of trading with me. This does not happen every day, okay? I don't want you guys to think, oh, Tim's going to buy a stock at $1.22 and it's going to quadruple. This happens only a few times a year. That said, my plan, OESX is doing very nice right now. My plan on both OESX and BGI was to get by after a spike had already happened. You don't need to be first with the breaking news. You don't need to be glued to your computer. You don't need 10 monitors. Trade from anywhere in the world. I trade with just one laptop because I wait for the spikes and the opportunities to come to me. OESX spiked from 114 all the way up to 138 on news of the contract. But if you're trying to rush it, you're going to be in and out in like a minute or two. I was dip buying it here in the low 120s. Now, obviously, it's a little higher than 114 where it needs to be now, but there's just not as much risk dip buying because I think that it's going to retest the highs here. And maybe tomorrow it breaks 136, 138, it goes to the 140s, 150s. Maybe it does catch on like BGI. When I was buying BGI, in the 120s here, on the dip, guess what? There's not much risk because the news is huge and they had a big turnaround. It's an earnings winner. I'm comfortable with the pattern. If you look at Ford, go back to my video lessons from last year. Oh wait, I didn't show it. I opened it. This is Ford. And this one went from roughly 80 cents all the way up to $4. And it came down the next day, so I don't know, what BGI is going to do tomorrow, but this spike again a few days later. So if you miss BGI, be sure to keep it on your watch list, because if it's anything like Ford, it can re-spike a few days later. But this is why it's good to study, so that you play based on past patterns, not confused. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like this. We have seen stuff like this. I've cataloged it. Ford is just one example. I have a great video lesson from last summer when I was in Amsterdam, and I made nearly 10 grand on Ford. This year I'm trading with a smaller account, but I still made 20% on my BGI. Some of you guys made 30, 40, 50%. We got to continue to keep up to some students. There's too many. Carlos, awesome job. Made 1,000. Brad, awesome. He's thanking God for everything. Don't thank God. Thank the stock market. This is the beauty of these times. We're in a unique time in history where we have this great stock market, we have technology. I'm able to give you this video lesson. I don't think you guys even realize that this video lesson would not have been possible 5 years ago. So very unique time in history. And, this is the best time to learn. I wish I had this when I was first starting. Tim Bertani, Troy Runner, just passed $3 million in profits in his first 4 years, which is nearly double what I made in my first 4 years. And we'll be going over everything he's learned over the years so many of you guys did this. Justinian, just used stocks to trade for the first time, and he's made $2,000. And FYI, stocks to trade had the news right here. This is why I highlighted this screenshot. The news came out, stocks to trade nailed it. And this is the beauty of stocks to trade. Finds news fast for other platforms, frankly, because it was designed by me. It's got 40 plus presets of scans that I use daily, and no other platform really cares about low price stocks. Some platforms don't show BGI as a ticker symbol. They don't give a shit about these stocks. So that's the beauty of stocks and traders. Jean-Francois, I love this, first $1,000 profit. So many of you guys, Omar made $400 too, but the key message here, is that I will never chase. Some people are like, why didn't you chase it? Because I did buy it with the whole goal that it's going to, retest, if not break out the day high. I'm not going to buy it, especially midday at 11, 12, 1 p.m. This is a very tough time to break out. So people are like, oh, Tim, why are you saying that, it's amazing that you can triple the budget for I will never hold it the whole time. What you have to understand about my job is that I don't get paid based on how well I personally train. I get paid based on how well I teach. And teaching involves two things. One, identifying big stocks and trading, which I absolutely nailed. When the stock, doubles or triples or quadruples, guess what? The vast majority of my students would never have seen this stock if it wasn't for me. The vast majority of people don't even consider penny stocks real stocks to trade. I can't even tell you how much Wall Street there is with penny stocks. So it's my job every single day to come to you with us and show you how beautiful penny stocks are. And secondly, I really do chase because I trade calendar. I think as a teacher, it's my job, again, because I'm not a hedge fund manager, but hedge fund managers can compensate based on people's performance. They use leverage, they do whatever they can, and they take ridiculous risks because they just get paid based on bonuses. It doesn't matter if they lose all their hedge funds money. They don't lose personally. They might lose a little credibility, but they get paid based on bonuses. So it's in their interest to go big and to bet big. And I know a lot of traders who do that. That's not my job. I'm here to teach you how to grow small accounts and trade cowardly. But that is how I'm going to trade. That's not to say that you have to trade cowardly. Trade big. But that's not how I teach it. Frankly, I don't think that's what really does well in penny stocks. So some people who banked buying it in the 2s and the 3s and they sold in the 4s and the 5s, I said congratulations, but understand that you're playing a very dangerous game. It's very risky. That's not what I would do. So I'll take all the credit in the world for introducing this stock to people because it's sad and pathetic how Wall Street hates on penny stocks. So if you know someone who hates on penny stocks, please do send them this video lesson and share with them the potential because for the life of me, I don't get how you can hate on this volatility that happens again and again and again. It does not happen every day. It does not happen every week. And that is why I am very happy with my 20% profits. I mean, this is literally the whole chart that I held for. I sold way too soon. And people are like, oh, aren't you sad? Aren't you angry? Fuck no. I just made 20% on my position in less than an hour. Okay? And in a perfect world, if I was compensated differently to bet big and teach people to bet big, which I don't think that world exists because if you bet big one of these days and you treat me, one of these days you will blow up as far too many other champions have learned the hard way while my students, my dedicated students who follow the rules, trade cowardly. So you have to really understand how I teach, why I teach, and what I teach. So I will never, ever chase a stock like this. And I will never, ever feel bad about missing out on all these potential gains. But I am very proud of several students who have learned to, trade a little different than me. The way that I trade is not the only way. It's not like my way or the highway. Oh, you can never trade anything else. You must always. That's bullshit, Trading is very adaptable and you should do what works for you. But just understand the risks and understand that I'm going to take the most cowardly approach every single time because that's how I teach. That's why I have the most successful students. This is why I have more millionaire students than anybody else. And once you get enough money, and once you get enough confidence, then you can grow a pair of balls and maybe trade a little more, like Tim McConney trades a little riskier than me. But in the beginning, cowardly trading is good. And if you miss out on a trade, it's okay, because guess what? You learn. You see what's possible. I guarantee you that a third of the people watching this video, they have friends or family being like, oh, you trade Tim stocks? Oh, Tim stocks? No, it's all a big scam. You're a fucking idiot. I see all of the negativity. I have more people contacting me every single day than probably anybody else on Wall Street. But I don't mind the negativity because it's not based on reality. It's based on fear and ignorance and misinformation. So it's my job to bring you good information. I'm not always going to pick these kinds of winners. But I guarantee you that if I do pick these winners, I will be selling too soon. Secondly, a lot of people are shorting this here, like the 2s and the 3s. I welcome anybody to bet against me and trade against me. If you don't believe in my patterns, if you don't believe in my rules, see how you do. The fact that I win the vast majority of the time, even when I sell too soon, well, I wish you luck. I wish you all the luck in the world. That said, some people did short the 3s, 4s, and 5s, and they covered for some good profits. So there's ways to make money on the way down too. Trading is a big, big world. There's ways to make money on the long side, on the short side, betting big, betting small, whatever you want to do it so that you're comfortable. And even if you're not trading yet, even if you're just paper trading, at least you see this stuff in real time. And, if you missed the FORD spike last summer, well, now you have one under your belt here. There's probably more too that I just can't think of off the top of my head. I have, nearly 4,000 video lessons now. But Ford is the most just glaring example. It's like, it's almost exact to this. And, it's going to keep happening again. So you can either study or you can ignore me, you can ignore the past and be surprised every time this stuff happens. But congrats to so many of you who get it. OESX, very nice little after-hour spike. We'll see what it can do tomorrow. I would be very nervous if I was a short seller on this, given what BGI just did. If OESX really did have a $45 million deal, I guess I got to do it more carefully. But sometimes I just buy first in a small position when the price action is good. I don't just buy news for the sake of it. I don't want to just trade for the sake of it. But if the price action is there, I gotta admit, I'm not gonna do like a full audit on OESX before I bet a very small position. I just have a few thousand shares. But in this market, buying low flow runners that can spike 200, 300, 500, 800% every day, I don't see anything with that kind of great risk reward. I think that's what people with small accounts should be doing. If you want to hold overnight and you want to save your day trades, OESX is an overnight play for me. BGI was intraday. But anyways, guys, challenge students, I will see you in the webinar tomorrow. I'm excited for it. And the rest of you guys, I'll see you in the chat room. What a day. What a freaking day. Alright, today is March 20th, 2016, so it's a good excuse to give you 20 key tips for stock market trading and life success. Yesterday you may have noticed how I gave away $20,000 in 20 minutes. This video is on YouTube. I encourage you to watch it. Nearly 4,000 of you have or won't be called. I think it's a really good video, so I'm curious to hear what you think. I'm trying to be transparent with my trading, transparent with my charity giving. I don't know how to not share this. I want to show you how good it feels, basically, to be in this position. It's my honor, it's my pleasure. And same thing with all my trading. So I share everything. But leave a comment below that video. Let me know what you think. And click like or dislike. I'm curious to see what you think. I don't know how people can dislike giving away money. I understand some people think I'm bragging or showboating, but I'm not. Okay, I'm trying to inspire you guys. I'm trying to show you a life that you can have when you study hard. So lesson number 1 for today: be patient. Don't expect great success right away. I know that pretty much all of my top millionaire students, and I'll turn a few thousand into a few million in a few years. That's not always going to happen. And for the vast majority of people, it takes much longer. That doesn't mean that it's not worth trying for. That doesn't mean that it's not going to happen to you. But it's better to have more patience. A lot of you want to make money like tomorrow or next week. First, you have to study. And that leads me to number 2. Study and preparation takes time. It's very front-end loaded. Once you have the knowledge and the mindset of the security, that's great. You'll never go back. You'll never go hungry again. But you need to get there first. You can't just have consistent gains. You can't just say, oh, some people say, just give me some hot tips right now. You make a little money, see that you're real, and then I'll study. No, that's not how it works. If you don't think I'm real, then don't study, okay? I'm not forcing you, but you can't try and change the system. I can't give you money right away in stocks. I can give money to my charity, and if you have some random deserving person in Los Angeles that day that I filmed that, then maybe I can give you money. But the vast majority of time, I'm teaching. So also remember this, whether you make $500 or $10,000 in your first month, neither will change your life in the long run. So focus on long-term goals. And a lot of you guys have this question and issue because you're studying, but you want to be encouraged. Like, is it worth my time? So you see people like this, so many testimonials lately. It's kind of crazy. And I'm trying to contact them all or bring them all up. Here we go. Airplane Jane. Thank you for helping me realize the dream of making $10,000 this week. And that's a fantastic job, Jane. Also, Tara made $10,000 in her first month as a trading challenge student. That's awesome too. But then you also have guys like this, Hebrew Hammer, and he started with $400 January 1st. 10 weeks later, he's at $2,500. So not as much, monetary gain, but very nice percentage gain, especially in a tough market. So again, 10,000 in a month, 10,000 in a week, 2,100 in 10 weeks. It's all starting. It's all about learning the process and getting on the right track. And I know that's tough to understand, but hopefully I can show you enough examples where you realize this. It's all about learning how to grow your account. Some people ask, why do I focus on $1 million and millions and big? And some people are like, oh, it's so crash, it's too hypey. Well, I focus on that because as I've learned from Dr. Latham and Dr. Locke, if you look at performance theory and goal setting theory, focusing on a big goal helps your improvement on your performance day by day, 15 to 25%. So focus on the $1 million, even if you have $1,000. I know it's weird, but I'm telling you, a lot of the tactics that I've learned that really work.
Let's take US 85 and US 85 business.
Just my own experience as a teacher to see what works. Number 5, cut down your education time by
In 2 miles, maintain U-turn on North Dakota 68.
I've learned everything the hard way over 16 years, and my whole goal was to bring together millionaire traders and successful traders with the right mindset of helping others. And that way, we can learn everything that I've learned much quicker. Hopefully, if you watch my video lessons and PDs and stuff like that, you can learn everything within a few months or a few years at the worst. And that is all much better than it took me over a decade to do. Also, use tools like Stocks to Trade. A lot of you guys have questions on Stocks to Trade. We just launched it. So the pre-launch specials have ended. So actually it's not even open right now. So you can't start it even if you wanted. So hopefully we got in on that. I wouldn't cancel because those pricing specials are never coming around again. But when we do reopen it, I suggest you enter your name and email if you want in on the next round. Use this tool. It's not for trading yet. It's just for scanning and charts and level 2. But this is a tool that can help you basically scan for the best patterns. There's over 40 different scans that I use every single day. If you look at Tim Bertoni, my top student, who's taken 1,500 now to 2.7 million in 4.5 years, the reason why he's so successful is he keeps spreadsheets on every single pattern and seeing how well they do. So it's all about tracking different patterns, not just one pattern. And also use my chat room with 1,000+ traders daily for idea generation. There's no other better place. There's no bigger chat room for low-price stocks. There's any bigger chat room in the world. And not necessarily believe anybody else's tips or alerts because, a lot of people, and this is true in every chat, they say, oh, look at this news, look at this, and they're already wrong because they want you to buy in, and that's nasty. That's the sad world of chat rooms. But don't believe anyone else's tips. Don't believe anyone else's alerts. Don't piggyback them. If I see someone alerting, I actually kind of want to go against them right away because why are they alerting it? Why are they talking about it? So for me, when someone brings up a hot stock, I'm never thinking, okay, I want to do exactly what this person is doing. Because if this person is doing it, then I'm going to be second. I'm going to be behind them. I don't want that to happen. So for me, I'm always questioning people's alerts and tips. But if I research it and I say, oh, this is a good stock or this is a good pattern, thank you for the heads up. That's okay. Always go into a trade with a plan, whether you're betting on a stock or betting against it, going long or going short. Have a plan. Say, okay, I want to buy this stock. I want to make 50 cents a share. If I'm wrong, I want to maybe lose 10 or 15 cents a share. And then stick to the plan. You have to cut losses quickly when a stock goes against your plan. I know it's tough. Trust me. The other day, I was doing a market mastery, in-person teaching with a few students. And I had a loss and it was just growing, and I didn't stick to my plan. I only lost like $400, but it should have been a $200 loss. And I don't care about the loss, the money situation. I care about a small account this year. But at the same time, I was pissed at myself for really just letting it go against me. That was very, very bad. And I'm glad that some of the students, Chico Peanut, Gabor, one of my trading challenge students, he was like, yeah, I recognize you breaking your own rules. And I'm not perfect. No trader is. But at least when you have the rules and you know the rules, you can try and get better. Also, never believe anybody in finance until they prove their worth, document success over years and decades, not just weeks or months. A lot of people go on Twitter and they post one screenshot or two screenshots of a trade that works, and they're like, look at my fills, look at my execution, look at this trade. Well, show me all of your fucking trades over 10, 20 years. I know you've been trading for that long. A lot of people don't believe in full transparency, and I think that's wrong. I don't think that's the future. Then again, money is not the end-all be-all, okay? I don't care about money for money's sake. I care about money for what it can do for your life. Too many people have just jobs that they fucking hate, okay? And too many people have shitty lives due to a lack of money. And so they're working these jobs and they can't quit because they need to bring in money to pay rent or bills or mortgages or school debts or, for food on the table. So I understand that you have to sometimes work shitty jobs, but